Welcome to the Let's Talk Politics Alabama podcast with your host, Daniel Stover and Russ Sanders, where we take a look at Alabama politics like a drive down I-65 from North Alabama to the state capital in Montgomery and all the way to the Sugar Sand Coast.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience.
We choose truth over facts. I don't want to speak negatively. I said, though, that if I lose this election, maybe I'll end up moving to Alabama.
Someone has once said that actually, as long as there are final exams, there will be prayer in schools.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Let's Talk Politics Alabama podcast. We're on episode 9 this week, and it's Labor Day weekend. Usually we're recording this on Monday, so it's Labor Day. Hope everybody's having a great and safe holiday. Russ ain't able to join us today. He's out rolling on the river, you know. I'm not going to sing that song, but that's where he's at. He's out for a concert or something. So instead, we get the honor of having our guest today, fellow bug enthusiast and chairman of the Republican Party, Mr. John Wahl from Athens. Hey, John, how you doing?
Doing very well and glad to be here.
Now, before we go too far, I do want to take a minute and just, I want to take a moment to remember Winston County Judge Bobby Aderholt. He is the father of U.S. Representative Robert Aderholt. He passed away this past week, I believe it was, and we just want to keep their family in our thoughts and prayers. And John, I think you had attended the funeral yesterday.
Yeah, no, I was down there yesterday and had a good talk with his family and representing the Republican Party, and so thankful for them. Judge Aderholt over the years has been such a leader for the Republican Party, a pioneer in Winston County and all of District 4. So definitely want to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. I know great family, great Republicans. I really appreciate them.
Now, John, you and I have a little bit of something in common. We both like bugs.
That's true.
Now, I think you just like saying the word, and most of us can't pronounce it other than you. So what is it you call it? What is it you say you are?
So I am a leptozoologist, which, to put into basic normal English, I raise butterflies. So I'm a butterfly farmer. Kind of a unique industry, but something I really love. Well,
now, that being said, I don't see that on many, college, applications. I want to be a leptozoologist person.
There's not many of us out. Yeah, there's not many of us out there, and there are not many colleges that offer any classical training in leptozoology. So a lot of different classes, a lot of different study areas. And then for me, a lot of just growing up on a farm, learning from trial and error, and still enjoy to this day. I do a lot of teaching, as well as I teach classes on leptozoology and help other people who are just getting started in the field.
So it's kind of one of those things, kind of like me and the beekeeping. It's a hobby turned life almost.
No doubt about it. For me, I always tell people I can't tell you why I became a butterfly farmer or why I love butterflies. For me, I was born with it. I always had a love of nature, and especially butterflies. And my personality has always said, if someone else can do it, I can do it. So when I heard there were full-time butterfly farmers, I was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. And I never looked back. So
what kind of butterflies are you raising? It's not, I'm pretty sure it's not for weddings,
Right.
I deal with weddings a little bit anyways, doing sound and video recording. Trust me, I'd steer away from them as well.
So yeah, there's two main markets for butterflies. One are for weddings and releases for events. And I steer with, I always joke that it's to stay away from the brides. And that's not really true. It's really just the time frame, having to work with something where you have to have adult butterflies at an exact day and make sure it's all done, all perfect with people who aren't necessarily used to working with bugs. So that's a challenge. But my main market, where I actually specialize in, is wholesale to zoos, botanical gardens, and exhibits across the country where people can come in and tour through a butterfly exhibit and get to see them live in person.
Now, that being said, we've got one of the nation's fastest growing, best. It's actually been recognized in the national news a lot, of the Cooks Museum. Now, are you providing anything to them, or?
Yes, I'm actually good friends with the Cooks family. What they have done with that museum is amazing. It's great for our area. It's a beautiful facility. I actually got the chance to be part of some of the, before it was open, working with them and touring it and getting to see the exhibits as they were being built. It's amazing. And I have gotten to do some work with them. And I know someday I'd love, we talked about possibly doing some more butterfly stuff there, maybe even a live butterfly exhibit there. And I would love to see that happen someday.
Yeah, I'd love to get in and help with the beehive that they have there. I mean,
yes,
we stood.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool exhibit. It really is.
We went and I took my girls down there for the first time a couple months ago, and literally we stood there looking at the bees for probably 15, 20 minutes. Hey,
I still think butterflies are better than bees, but bees are pretty. Any bug is pretty cool.
We've got two things that we like: chickens and bees. So, but that being said, we still need to get together. We've talked about it before. I want to get my Alabama bee girls over there to see your butterfly farm, and we'll post that on our other channel whenever we get a chance to make that happen.
Absolutely. I'd love to have you all over.
So, that being said, we're not here, though, to talk about butterflies or bees. We're here to talk about a little bit about politics. John, you're the chairman of the Republican Party in Alabama. It sounds really, really important. And I know you're just an important guy anyways, especially with the butterflies. But what in the world made you want to be chairman?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if it's important, but they certainly work you like it's important. I'm always on the move, always on the run, but I love the position, and I love the party. And for me, getting involved and running for chairman really went back to why I originally got involved in politics, which is I love this country and I want to see it be successful in the future. I think we need more of that in politics. We need people running for office who have a heart to change things and a heart for the country, a love for the country, believe in the values that our founding fathers had, and want to secure those, our way of life as Americans for the next generation. So that's why I got involved in politics. That's why I ran for party chairman, and that's what I always try to keep first and foremost with my work in politics is trying to keep America great.
Well, now you said keep America great. That has to go back to, I've heard that there was a slogan that kind of helped get someone elected that ended up helping you become the top fundraiser in Alabama Republican Party history here. You mind
I
telling
may
us
or
a little
may
bit
not
of
have
that?
come up. Yeah, may or may not have been the first person who said "Make America Great" or "Keep America Great." No, yes, we're super excited about our recent rally with Donald Trump, where he did a reception for the Republican Party before the rally, and we raised 1.1 million, a little over 1.1 million. Said it smashed the fundraising record for the Alabama Republican Party for a single event. Super excited about that. Super excited what we can do with that moving forward into 2022, because our mission, our job is to win elections, and we're going to take those funds and we're going to use them to take back the House and Senate. There's no question. We're in a battle for the heart and soul of this country, and the party's looking forward to being fully engaged and being part of winning these elections.
Well, you kind of went off into one of my other questions there is, so where does that money go to? What's it used for?
Yeah. So what I love about the party is we have a lot of infrastructure already in place. And a lot of our day-to-day expenses, they're already covered. So an event like this, everything is going into our electioneering campaigns. Where whatever we can put into we have two accounts, a federal account and a state account. Whatever we can put into the federal account, we're putting there. And that's going to become part of our Restore America campaign, which is where we're literally going to take not only the funds, but we're also gathering volunteers that are we're going to mobilize in 2022 in swing districts and swing states around the country, where we're literally going to have boots on the ground and money to back candidates that need that little extra push to get over the line. So we make sure we take back the House, because that's so important. And then, of course, anything in state account goes to our state candidates, where we're going to make sure we hold everything we have here in Alabama, keep it strong. Maybe I'll be honest with you, I'm very ambitious. I would love to see us actually pick up seats in the state Senate and the state House, as well as keep everything statewide.
Well, now I know some of that money has gone to your local counties to help push some of those local candidates over the line as well. I know Lawrence County has received money, we went in with the state party to do like a mailer or something. That's always something that
right. And then yes, and that's one of the things with the PAC-to-PAC transfer laws the way they are now, after the ethics reform. We can't directly give money to a county party, but we definitely still support county candidates. And yes, anytime there's a candidate that, even if it's not a statewide candidate or a state house, but there's a local candidate, county commissioner, something on the county level, sheriff, where they need help, absolutely, we're going to get involved. We're going to help our candidates across the board from top to bottom.
Yeah, and hey, we greatly appreciate the help that the state party has provided to us. I mean, we were able to unseat a well-grounded Democrat sheriff the last go round, and I have to say important. That helped.
Yes, no, it's very important, because it's, as a state, we're very conservative, but there are definitely still counties in Alabama that are in that process of flipping, and we're going to be there, and we're going to back those candidates. We're going to back those county parties, and we're going to help flip every county we can.
All right. So going back to the whole Trump rally thing, one thing I've got to ask: what was it like meeting Trump? I know you did.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So, great question. And you always think, when you meet great people, you're gonna feel this way or do that. I was in such a get it done mode that whole day, because this had so much on my plate. Like, I just was like, I got it done. I felt no different. I met him, shook his hand, thanked him for coming to Alabama. Went through I was MC that day, so I was going through the procedure with him, where things were. And I hate to say I just treated him like any other person, but I got the job done, man.
So you weren't the giddy little schoolgirl going, "Oh my gosh!"
No, I held it together.
Well, that's good. Glad you didn't embarrass us, okay, John? Now, let's see. One other question that, though, along with that Trump rally, and this has kind of been a little controversial, but the state party was said to be hosting that. Now, I know the state party also has in their bylaws that we don't endorse a candidate during a contested primary. And it seemed like that, especially with the emails I was getting almost every day, it seemed like, I don't know if the Trump rally was hijacked or what, but there was a lot of one candidate pushed by their campaign that this was a Trump rally for that one candidate. Can you tell us what went on?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a couple of things I want to address right off. One is, our bylaws do say that chairman and secretary cannot get involved in primaries. The party actually is not forbidden from that, but it's our tradition not to. Okay. And I think that's a good tradition. I think that's something that I respect. I think most people, appreciate the party for respecting that and not getting involved in primaries. But with this event, I originally invited Donald Trump actually as soon as I was elected back at the end of February, before we had endorsed any candidates in our Senate race. And I think that's important to remember. Just my goal with inviting him to Alabama was to have a good rally to highlight his accomplishments as president, and to use it to build the party with fundraising, with relationship with the voter base, because in Alabama the people love Donald Trump. I'm going to be honest with you, people love Donald Trump more than the Republican Party.
Yes.
So it was important to me to do a good job for the party with this event. There was obviously, everyone knew coming into this. Originally, we had hoped to have the rally earlier in the year, before endorsements, before things that did not happen. Don't want to get into weeds of that and everything that happened there. When we were able to get him to come and be do a rally in conjunction with the summer meeting of the Republican Party, I was excited to have it happen. Worked very hard to make it happen. The party did host the rally, and he did the fundraiser for us. I do want people to know that the rally itself was a Donald Trump rally. So the party did not directly pay for it. We did not pay him. We did not have those expenses. We were not, it was his rally, his decisions to do what they did, not the party's. And that's an important distinction. You hear the word host, and you might think there was more involvement than there was, but think about it like the Olympics. Tokyo recently hosted the Olympics, but they didn't decide what events would be there, who would win, anything like that. They were just providing the base and hosting the event. And I think that's kind of how I see this with the party. We invited him, he did a reception for us, but the rally itself was a Donald Trump rally. And whatever he said there does not reflect the opinion of the Republican Party. It reflects Donald Trump's opinion.
Okay. Well, and I just wanted to give you a chance to clear that up, and hopefully this will make it out to most of the state, and the people on the executive committee can see that.
Absolutely, and I'm not shy about talking about anytime any decisions I make or anything that I'm working on. I love to talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
Well, and I know there had been a lot of murmuring, I guess, behind the scenes about that. Honestly, I was kind of disappointed though. I mean, we're sitting there at the state meeting, and I see all the security and everything, and I'm sitting here thinking, John has pulled a good one on us. Donald Trump's fixing to walk through the door and say hi to everybody. I was like, darn, it didn't happen.
I really wish. I tried for that, man, and it's amazing. Any movement of a former president is very, very difficult. I would have loved for him to have been able to stop in to see the executive committee, but he actually did not fly in until about 5 o'clock. So it's a very fast thing. They get him in, they get him on site, do the pre-rally stuff, the reception, click line. He goes on stage, he speaks, and then as soon as he's off stage, he's back in the motorcade and back headed for the airport. So they're very, very efficient, and he is in and out very quickly.
Yeah. As much as I wish that would have happened, I knew there was not enough security for that to happen. So now I would like to say thank you though for all of the executive members that got to be on stage, or well, not on stage, but behind stage there in the stands. I know I saw friends of mine from all the way from Mobile all the way up to North Alabama. In fact, Russ and his wife actually got to be back there on stage, and you could see as Donald Trump walks out, Russ has got a little video on Facebook of, he's like, yep, there I am. There's my wife. So just want to say thank you for at least getting that to happen. That was
absolutely, and that was a priority for me, because I want, I come from the grassroots side of the Republican Party. The activists, the people who are out there working, county executive committee members, state executive committee members, and I wanted to reward their commitment to the party and just the work they put in every day for the Republican cause. So I was so glad to be able to get all executive committee members and county executive committee members that reserve seating behind the stage.
I didn't get to make it myself, but I'm glad Russ did. I have to take care of my dad. He's 86 years old, so I had to jet on back to Lawrence County. But
Man, family comes first. I get it.
yep. Now I have to ask though, you've pulled this off. You've set the bar pretty high. Well, what's the next fundraiser or event that you're going to pull off here? Because you're going to be hard to trump here. Okay.
Good question. You're not the first person who's asked me that. They're like, John, what did you do to yourself? Because if you do this, your first meeting, like it's all downhill. But no, I have some plans. I can't reveal everything now, but let's just say that I hope to make every meeting exciting for the members. And the winter meeting probably won't be as much because I don't know if I can survive another big event right now. But I've got some plans for the future that I think people are going to enjoy.
Come on, you're not going to have the Nancy Pelosi Duncan booth there? I mean, come on.
Hey, if I could pull that off, I'd be chairman for life.
Well, I know there's a lot of moving parts there, and I know you and I talked a little bit before, or the couple of weeks before, and you're like, let me get through this state meeting, then we'll try to do the podcast. So I understand everything was, and then there was a lot of stuff going on at the state party. I mean, you had I'm forgetting names. I'm horrible with names, but the lady that's over communications, her father passed away.
Shannon Witt's father passed away, and then Jeannie, our comms director, she had a family member in ICU with COVID.
Yeah.
Our chief of staff had a baby that week.
Yeah,
he was gone. Yeah, I know. That's what I said. He called me up. He's like, "Hey, John, my wife's in labor," and I will admit I was tempted to say, "Who cares? Come to work."
That's a poor excuse.
Yeah. But no, I told him, "Hey, man, go take care of your family." So we were running light, but I felt like we got the job done.
Oh, yeah.
Might not have been the smoothest, but very, very pleased with how everything turned out.
If you could have just gotten the weather to cooperate a little bit more, I mean, you should have called up George W. Bush and said, "Hey, slow that hurricane machine down, okay?"
I know, right? Hey, I'm actually not too disappointed with the weather because we almost got seriously poured on, and we actually just got a little rain that day, so it could have been worse.
Yeah. Now I know Rock the South was there that week before, and I heard horror stories about, four-wheel drive trucks were getting stuck and everything. I mean, of course, I wasn't there, but did we have any of those type of issues?
So we did not, and that was important to me because I actually was down at Rock the South the week before, just to to see the event site, make sure I knew kind of how things would run, where things would be. It became apparent to me very quickly we were going to have to do things a little differently.
Yeah.
And we moved, and it was hard. A week notice, we moved the actual location of where the rally on the property would be held, same property, but a different location to get out of some of that mud, get a little bit higher elevation with the field. So did a lot. It's one of those things you never know what happens behind the scenes with an event. And it was very stressful moving that, but we got the location, the actual rally for the people moved to a place that would be less muddy. And then also had to curtain off some of the parking areas that were the lower areas and the places where people were getting stuck last time, because I heard some people didn't get out of Rock to South till 2 or 3 in the morning, and we did not want that to happen. And I'm glad to report I think everybody was out by about 11 o'clock for the Trump rally. So I was very pleased with that. We had no cars left in the field the next day.
That's good, but I have to say to get a bunch of Republicans out by 11 o'clock, you were doing good. I mean, usually whenever we have our meetings, we're 2 or 3 hours afterwards just standing out in the parking lot talking.
Hey, no, I won't say there weren't guys still around the stage with me. You're right. I may or may not have been up talking to people till 1 a.m. No comment on
that. Well, now as chairman, though, you're also involved on the national level a little bit. With the RNC, what's their input into Alabama and Alabama's input into the RNC?
I've only been to one full meeting of the RNC because the first meeting I went to was spring training. They tried to train me; it didn't work. I'm not easy to train. But no, I went to spring training, had a great time. And then the summer meeting was the first meeting, which was actually beginning of August. Had a very good meeting. There's a lot of great people serving on the RNC. And, they're not, I'm sure they're not, there's a lot of people out there who feel like they're not as conservative as they could be. I feel that myself sometimes. But they're visiting with those members, just made so many great connections, so many great friends, and so many great networking opportunities for the state of Alabama. And there's a lot of great people serving on the RNC, really enjoy that and really enjoy being a voice for Alabama on the RNC, because I think that's important. I was elected as chairman, not just to be chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, but also to share my constituents' views on the RNC. And I think that's a very important part of being chairman that sometimes gets overlooked, but I take very seriously.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of goes back to the county level as well. Yeah, we are for the county, and that's stressful enough. But then on the state level, even though I'm going to tell you, our state meetings have not been the most exciting in the world. This last one was actually kind of exciting there towards the end, but
right.
Yeah, we need to have a talk about that one.
And there's I always say, if you're looking for excitement, don't go to a Republican Executive Committee meeting, because it's definitely not what you go to for entertainment.
No.
But they are important, and that's one reason why I'm so thankful for the members on the county level and the state level who take the time to be part of that process, and sit there and be part of the party and make it possible, because it takes a lot of time, travel time. The meetings aren't the most exciting, but it's a commitment, and I appreciate that there are so many people who want to be part of that process.
Well, on that same level there, I know I can tell people how to get involved with the local party. Hey, come to our meetings. They're the second Thursday night of each month, up here at Mills. What if they want to get involved with the state party? I know, number one, you can get involved with the local party and be elected onto the state party as an executive member. But what about, I want to help Kay Ivey get reelected. How can I work through the state party to accomplish that?
Yeah, so really, really good question, and I always do. When people ask, how can I become, get more involved with the state party? My first response is always get involved with your local party, because government in general, but even at the party level, is always best for local. Those folks, they know you. Build that network. And really the state party, like you said, as far as the state executive committee, if you're not a member of the county committee, it's much harder to get involved on that leadership with the state party. Mm-hmm. But something we always welcome are people who want to get involved on the grassroots level, working to help our candidates win, whether that's in Alabama or whether that's on the Strike Force and Restore America campaign, where we're going to go outside of Alabama, take buses or groups to swing districts. So if they are interested in, being a volunteer for the party, I would love to have them contact our headquarters or visit our website at algop.org. We've got a volunteer sign up page there, and they also our phone numbers on there. They can call headquarters. Love to work with people at every level.
You mentioned the Strike Force. Can you give us a little highlight on what exactly that is?
Yeah, so the Alabama Strike.
I know you said about taking buses and going out, but
right. So the Alabama Strike Force is basically our grassroots mobilization part of the Republican Party. And over the last few years, it's been led by Joan Reynolds, who is the wife of our national committee man, Paul Reynolds. And she basically will organize groups of volunteers, and whether it's by bus or traveling down caravanning together in vehicles. She has mainly targeted presidential elections, like the last cycle in 2020, really targeted Florida. did a lot of door knocking in several areas around Florida, multiple trips for Donald Trump. And we were very proud to be part of Florida's percentage, good percentage win for Donald Trump. And then after that, then with the elections in Georgia, it became apparent we need to be more engaged in making a difference, not just in the presidential race, but also with holding the Senate, taking back control of the Senate, and especially the House. I feel like the House is our best bet for getting back control in 2022. And, we're going to be fully engaged with that with the strike force, where we'll actually be sending boots on the ground to door knock and to support candidates in 2022.
All right. Well, that sounds great. And I hope that y'all will send out maybe contact information or something to the county chairman to kind of help push that a little bit as it gets closer.
Oh, absolutely. I want to set up a landing page and a good sign up form for people, what dates would be, maybe, get several trips pre-organized where they would know time frames and get that to our county chairman that they can then disperse to their members. Would love to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today. Like I said, anything you want to know about state party, you can go to the website, algop.org. It is
That's
org, right?
It is.
Okay.
Don't go .com. Go .org.
So, all right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming on YouTube and watching us. If you're watching us there, make sure that you give us a like by hitting that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you're listening on the podcast sites, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating. All of that helps us to grow our channel and continue to bring things that are interesting and kind of more the detailed politics stuff that you're not going to get from normal talk radio. So, all right. Well, John, I appreciate you coming on with me, and maybe we'll get Russ back in the saddle next week. And
he needs to get back here.
I'll let you have the last word as we head on out here.
Well, I just want to tell everybody who's watching, thanks for being involved. Thanks for taking the time to watch this interview, and to you, appreciate your service there in Lawrence County for the Republican Party and being chairman. We appreciate it. It's an honor to be on your show, and I look forward to being back sometime.
All right. Thanks, John.
All right. So long.